there's a tension that you explore in the book between learning for its own sake and as a refuge and having an impact. I mean, you spend your days teaching young people how to think about big ideas. What's the point of that? I mean, that doesn't help you get a job on Wall Street. It can lead to, uh, you know, reading books that are dry and dusty. Talk about that tension between being immersed in the world and thinking and learning and reading as a refuge.
Uh, well, it's. Why don't I say something about the tension for me personally in a particular moment like this one, which is that I've written this book defending the inwardness, the uselessness of the life of learning. And why am I doing that?
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing that because I want more people to recognize this activity and to live it out and to teach it in schools. I'm trying to rescue something, in other words, that I think is endangered. And of course, that's an attempt to make an impact. So I'm always caught in this difficulty in that I'm trying to explain the value of something while that's strictly speaking in some tension with what I'm actually what I'm actually doing. But that said, I think that the kind of inquiry that I do myself, that I try to pass on to my students, something that's fundamental, that's withdrawn to some extent, necessarily, I think, from contemporary concerns, whether those are political concerns or economic concerns or personal concerns. That kind of activity is necessary for human beings to flourish and to be happy. And I don't mean happiness in the sense of, good feels. I mean happiness in the sense of growth, of becoming more fully oneself, of having profound and meaningful experiences. And I think if you dedicate yourself to impact, your life is really diminished. You need to have resources within yourself on which you're drawing, and that you return to. So I'm not suggesting, as might be misunderstood by some of my work, I'm not suggesting that no one should try to act in the world or help their communities. Far from it. But in order to help our communities, we need to have some kind of mode of retreat, some place where we go to restore ourselves, to find new resources, to reflect, to think. And that also is a resource for us when things go wrong. I mean, our educational culture is so focused on achievement and success. And, we got to face the fact not everyone is going to succeed, or those who succeed are going to succeed for a time and then not succeed. And that's not in anyone's control necessarily. We need resources as human beings to face whatever life throws us. And that's the kind of thing I think that I'm passing on to my students. That is a set of resources that I think it does help people do better work, think creatively, take on challenges. I think all that stuff is true. So I think it does make people more successful, liberal arts education. I just also think that it makes people better at failing and better at enduring. And these are valuable. We shouldn't pretend they're not, since none of us are going to be permanently successful, and some of us may never be particularly successful. And those lives are also worth living, and they're worth nurturing, and they have things in them that are, I mean, not just worthwhile, but sort of unconditionally worthwhile, for the dignity beyond price. So that's the kind of thing I'm trying to recover in our way of talking about education.